Okay, welcome back. Now we are going to continue working on test-driven development, which we were focusing on earlier. And just a reminder, we are using the same website. This is the part two, and this has been really helpful for me to understand the test-driven development. So I'm continuing using it, and we will continue doing that. So first thing it talks about is, well, not the first thing, but in this new part, after covering these basic scenarios of add, multiplication, and subtraction, it asked about division. So let's do a quick division test. Let's see how well Copilot does it. Two numbers, but I want it float. Let me just remove all this and see if Copilot can actually, no, I don't want to insert, can actually write something. So I want a float answer for my division. Oh, it does give it. And it's the same example as the website, which makes me think that you know uh, does it know about it? Okay, so it doesn't have any object view div, which makes sense that there should be one. So let's quickly make a very simple function just to pass this test. Okay, that's not at all what I want. Okay, a b, return a b. That's true, that's what I want. Let's me run this again. And passed, everything passed. Great. So you can see that we are able to get the result for a division which is giving a float answer. Now, what is the most common thing with division which we do and get an error? It's division by zero raises exception. Okay, so it's trying to make me do this, but let me just change this to follow the suit where it's just gonna return infinity, and then we'll come back to the what do you call the scenario where we can raise exception, which is a very helpful thing to have. And now if I run this quickly, it will fail. Division by zero error, which is great. That's what we want to show. Now, in order to handle that, uh, let's see if Copilot can figure that out. So, yep. So if b is zero, b is the thing which we are dividing with. It is asking us to return float, which is exactly what we want to return. And then we can check this, and then this can also be not b. So if it in Python, if it's zero, it will also be treated as not b, which is also giving the same error. Great. Now, instead of giving a float infinity, we can raise exceptions. Now, how do we raise exception? So let's go back here, remove all this, and let's see if Copilot can remember what it did before. Zero returns or raises, right? Raises is the right word. Exception. Okay. No, it doesn't. Which is fine. It's fine. So what we want to do is now that we have this, we want to with this call, right? We are expecting that this gives an error, and we can give this as a value error, and it is dividing by 3, so that's what we are expecting. We don't have any assert. The with Pytest is as an assert statement where it just verifying it. So it's asserting that we are getting a value error. Now I'm importing Pytest as it's wanting me to, and I run this again. I get a value error which we don't have handled. So that means we go back in our code and we fix that. So we can do not b, which will give me this error. So let me just change this to let's just start with return b. Raise value division by zero is not allowed. What was our thing? We have just a value error, so that should be fine. And then if we just run this, excellent, passed, right? Awesome. So this way we can also raise exceptions. Similarly, where we have, let's say, we don't want to multiply by zero or something, we can give more value error. And we have more complex set of uh, possible. Let me go back to the site and show you. Hopefully I can edit all that gibberish which I was saying. So we did an exception, we raised value error. So now the website talks about much more complicated functions, which I'm not going to go into because they are similar, but they are great to practice if you want to go through each of them. Um, and they kind of go through different scenarios and they give an upper bound, lower bound, and if they have something given like that, and making sure that we maintain in it. And similarly, you can have boundary as well. So those are the different scenarios which this website goes into. I'm not going to go in deep into that. Let's end here, and then the next session, which will be the last one for PyTest, we will cover how we can mock scenarios. So until then, thank you.